Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3 on the third picture in the series Competent People in 10 Pictures. For me, this particular picture is one of the most important ones of the whole book because it deals with the essential question: what is the value of the competences you have? What is the value of that? It's a very important question, obviously. And before we go into the actual picture, let me tell you that personally I'm formed or misformed, as you want it, by my economic education. So for me, value is something you can express as some kind of monetary unit. I would say that I look at the world through economic glasses, and for me the value is what can be expressed in money, but maybe for you that is something else and more intrinsic nature. Anyway, my take is basically a slogan I got from one of my old professors saying value is what a damn fool will pay for. So whatever somebody is willing to pay for, that's the value of something. It's a very economic notion, and I agree with that. But economic notion or not, the picture on value of competencies goes a bit like this. The difficulty with competencies is that they do not have any direct value. So we have our competence, and you might remember from the first picture that the name tag of competence was basically hello, my name is potential. So competence is the ability to do. It's what you can do. um, that is not something that generates value. The value is generated in what you actually do, in the performance. So it's not in what you could do, not in the potential. Sorry, performance, I can't write anymore. The competence needs to be translated into performance. What you can do needs to be done, and that thing you do is then something that generates value. So basically competence has indirect value, and there are, two hurdles to jump over. There's one hurdle to go from competence to performance. So competence is what you can do, and performance is what you actually do. Now, to translate your potential into real action, you need to jump the hurdle of context. For example, if you are good at flying airplanes, you'd better be employed by an airline. A lot of people are shaped by their context. A lot of great political leaders have been able to rise to their time because of the specific conditions they had to deal with. But equally, if you are good at, let's say, accountancy, well, you won't shine as much in a sales position. So to translate optimally from competence, what you can do, to what you actually do, you need to have access to the proper context to do that in. And then you have a second hurdle from the performance, from what you do, to actual value. So some things are more valuable than others. Some actions, some performances, some services that are performed are deemed more valuable than others. But anyway, be there a huge value or not, you need to be able to capture your share of that value. That means you need to be in a position to take your fair share of that value for your performance. And that is something people go very lightly over and assume that, oh, of course, because I do this, the value is going to come to me. That is absolutely not necessarily true. In business, there's the whole value chain of your economic system, but A lot of inventors, for example, who invented stuff are not the people who become rich of that same stuff because, they are bad at capturing the value of what they do. So, in short, you need to go from what you can do, competence, you need to jump over the hurdle of the context, you need to have the specific context to translate that into top performance, and then you need to be positioned to get your fair share of that value. We can go in a lot more detail because, as I've said, I think this is one of the essential pictures in the whole book, but that's basically why it's so damn hard to put a money figure or to put some value on competence, is because it's indirect value and you need to jump a few hurdles to do so. So that's basically picture number 3, the value of competence.